So I believe that you should have at least heard of ChatGPT before, unless you're living under a rock. So the recent ChatGPT acquisition by Microsoft is creating shockwaves in the entire market. So it does seem like investors are currently speculating that the new integration that Microsoft suggested, trying to integrate ChatGPT into Microsoft Bing, might be the new Google search killer. So Alphabet's stock price has also been affected since, cratering from the highs of $109 to around $95 the last I checked. But that's not the main point of this video. The main point of this video is for you to smash that cute little like button. So drawing reference from their US counterparts, the Chinese tech giants are also currently riding on this crazy AI bandwagon. Just last week alone, Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, NetEase, and JD all unveiled plans to test and launch their own ChatGPT-like services in the near future. So this AI bandwagon looks almost too good to be true. So when Baidu first announced that their AI chatbot project will likely complete internal testing by March before being made available to the public, shares of Baidu actually surged more than 13% in the Hong Kong market. 13% just on some news of a ChatGPT-like copycat. So side note, who is the one naming all these chatbots? GPT, Ernie, Bart? Leave in the comment section down below, what would you name your own chatbot? So anyway, I think the most important thing many investors want to know is how relevant and how important is this new artificial intelligence development to the portfolio of companies that we talked about, or essentially that we own. So I can only say that it's slightly too early to tell. Anything substantial, of course. So the invention of a sophisticated AI model is one part of the equation. So let's not forget that the primary function of any business in this world is to generate profits. So at least that's what we as shareholders demand from the portfolio of companies that we own. So the second part of this monetization architecture is not yet built out. So at this point in time, even if Bing might really be a Google killer, Microsoft have yet to figure out a way to make money from this new AI chatbot. So stealing market share alone don't mean anything. However, the market don't seem to agree with this perspective because there was this new index called the ChatGPT index, which was essentially compiled by a Shanghai-based data service provider, essentially saw a 16% jump in the past 5 trading days, as they monitor nearly 30 artificial intelligence companies listed back in mainland China. So it does seem like a new level of euphoria and excitement is injected back into the markets again, very unlike 2022. So I would liken this AI hype to similar trends in the past few years around themes such as metaverse, blockchain, disruptive innovation. You name it, we have it. So let's not forget, there was even a metaverse thematic ETF that was launched early last year, and since inception, it's actually down 22%. So don't get me wrong, by the way, I'm not ridiculing or laughing at concepts like metaverse, blockchain, or even artificial intelligence for that matter. So I fundamentally believe that many of these current concepts will be instrumental in future technological innovation. So my skepticism really stems from the enthusiasm and the excitement of all these business people, or some of you might call them salespeople, coupled with the power of media trying to sell this story to the mass market, to people like you and me. So usually, you know that when they're pumping or essentially hyping something up this badly, somebody is on the other end or other side offloading it to the public. So if it's really a good technology inherently, people don't have to hype it up. Numbers and trends don't lie. So there is a distinction that needs to be made here and needs to be made clearly. Are you ultimately buying a company or are you buying a story? So I choose to stick with judging all investments as backing a particular company and their foresight and their execution. Clearly, Alibaba, being one of the Chinese big tech, has also jumped onto this bandwagon, confirming that Damo Academy, which is the company's research institute, is currently conducting an internal testing of an AI chatbot potentially as well. So I do hope that they have a better name for it though. They can probably name the AI chatbot as smash the like button. So if that's really the case, I think I'll be promoting Alibaba's chatbot 24/7. Remember to smash the like button. So it is unveiled that Damo built an AI model known as M6, calling it the world's first 10 trillion parameter pre-training model. So for context, By comparison, to OpenAI's ChatGPT model, it was launched in 2020 with 175 billion parameters. So how big and superior is the Alibaba scale? Truth be told, I don't know. Sometimes, like skeptical Americans, numbers from China might not really paint the full picture. And of course, oftentimes than not, some of it might be exaggerated to a large extent. However, the bigger context should still be focused on how can this chatbot or whatever AI that they are currently playing with aid the underlying business operations. So for now, it still remains as a very, very compelling story with no real world relevance yet. On the flip side though, China being China, a Chinese state-owned publications have recently just released a warning against the hype around AI-linked stocks in a high-profile editorial. So the editorial actually cautioned that some market capitals are keen on false concept speculation, luring investors to chase the market and finally end up losing. And investors must not follow the trend. Must not follow the trend. Funny enough, I am of the same exact opinion as this particular publication, which might explain why I still stay invested in the Chinese stock market and Chinese stocks specifically. So we share similar value system, I guess. So a healthy level of speculation is needed to keep the markets alive and moving. But when taken to the extreme, with little to no safeguards and oversight, it's usually the institutions that walk away winning, while many people are left behind backholding. Honestly, I have never been very interested in this idea of 概念股, and a direct translation of 概念股 to English means concept stocks, or in other words, story stocks. So they have a good concept or story to sell, and usually the opportunity that they try to pitch to investors is that it's 10x and beyond. So I can only say that I will believe it when I see it. So if you want to convince me that the metaverse will work, start selling more Quest goggles before we even speak about building out any sort of metaverse. Want to convince me that the blockchain will be the new normal? Onboard more credible institutions to buy into the idea and revamp their current work processes. So in industries like cloud computing, cybersecurity, and even the electric vehicle transition, people don't have to convince you that this will be the future. We all know that these are the future themes. Hence, the valuations of many of such companies that are in these specific industries will reflect these expectations. So like the Chinese editorial suggests, despite artificial intelligence attractive growth and genuine consumer tech utility, a recent rally in stocks linked to the technology increasingly looks like it's overdone, and this could end badly. So for those of you who are drawn into the story, just understand what you're getting yourself into. So I'll just stick to my lame and boring investment style. I'm too old to withstand such hype and excitement. With that, I'll see you in the next video, but more importantly, I will see you on the moon. Goodbye!